hello. I've already done my hellos to Instagram. We've been chatting for a little while here, but hello, Facebook world, Instagram, YouTube. Hello, and happy Monday. Happy Monday night live. I'm so excited that we are here to chit chat and fellowship with one another. Tonight's topic, I'm happy that we're doing. I don't think it's something that people necessarily are looking to hear about, but I think it's something that we in the coaching and consulting world need to talk about. So hopefully, even if you're like, well, I'm not sure what this is about, hopefully you just tune in whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay, because I think it's important as we grow our businesses to be really mindful and be really honest with ourselves about how we are showing up in business and how we're showing up for our clients. Because oftentimes a lot of our focus is really just on, getting a client, getting the next client, scaling up. But there's a human on the other side of these interactions. There's a life. There are lives connected to the life that we are affecting. There are communities being affected. And I think that karma is real. And I think it's important that we be very, very mindful, ethical, moral in the way that we do business. And so that's kind of what our talk is about tonight. But before we dive deep into that, if you are watching in whatever platform you're watching, definitely tell me hello. I love to see the comments. Matter of fact, I say that and I'm like, let me hit the comment button so I can actually see. But yeah, shoot me a comment, tell me hello if you are watching us live. And tonight's topic is mindful marketing for coaches and consultants, how to promote your coaching and consulting business without sacrificing your values. All right, without sacrificing your values, just because you're in business doesn't mean you have to be a shark. Doesn't mean you have to be that used car salesman. And I feel bad that we always say that because not all used car salesmen are slimy. Hey, Cherie. It just means that we want to be, like I said, we want to be ethical about how we do business. We want to be purposeful and we want to be understanding. Like we are all humans living life, sharing space, and we need to keep that in our minds as we maneuver through our business world. All right, so before we dive deep into the topic, I always like to reintroduce myself because we have new people that come on every day. Hello, I'm Corey Fonville Foster. I am a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm a certified business coach, and I'm also the owner of iRock Marketable Business Solutions that is based in Virginia. All right, what do we do? Well, simply put, we help small business owners like yourselves. We help you through understanding and really getting clarity on what you want to offer. We help you to target, attract, and engage with your target audience. And then we also help you consistently fulfill your marketing and sales plans and really keep your budget in mind. I think that's the crux of what we do. And that's the thing that sets us apart is not only are we here to help you with marketing and coaching services, but we keep your budget in mind. You can go somewhere and get a website. You can go many places and get a website. You can go many places and get videos edited. You can go many places and get business coaching. But we understand that not everybody has disposable funds. We understand that money is a finite thing. And so we work within your budget to get you what you need as best we can. So if you're watching on the screen, you can see that we have two areas of focus in our business. We have a coaching side. That can include one-on-one, group coaching. We even have something called Power Hour Coaching, where you can just book 1 hour to help you solve one major problem that you're dealing with in your business. We also have our marketing side of our business, where you can get anything from websites, logos, social media management, virtual moderation, and the list goes on and on, guys. The list goes on and on. Landing pages, slide decks for your presentations, proposals written, all kind of things, flyers, certificates, etc. If it's marketing, we probably can help you do that. And again, we do that on a budget. Now, I always like to say, you're a rock star. And I think that you guys need to start believing it. And that's why I say it so much. You're a rock star. And we name our people rock stars because we are iRock. We do have different levels of being a rock star. If you're watching us right now, you are a rock star for sure. You engage with us on social media, enjoy our blogs, our articles. And if you didn't know, we actually put out a new blog or article, I should say, every single week. You can look at them on LinkedIn, and you can also look at them on our website. So if you haven't been checking those out, you really should. We put out lots of free content. We also post on social media every single day. That's Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram every single day. And we're about to do better on TikTok. We were doing okay, and then we dropped the ball, but we're coming back in July, nice and strong. We also have free events that we do every single month. We have our Rock Master classes. We have two coming up in July, and I'll talk more about those in a future date. And then we also have coming up, because someone was like, hey, I want to do more networking. You said our private community, you have more networking. So starting July, once a month, we will have a Q&A networking session. We have had, I think, two of them in this past year, but we're going to do it every single month to give you guys an opportunity to connect with one another. So that you can, build your own relationships and collaborate and things of that nature. So if you attend any of those free events, you are Rockstar Plus. We have A-list stars who engage with us through our courses or paid events. We have all-stars who are in our group coaching or our marketing clients. And then we have our elite stars, which are our one-on-one clients. And we love you all. But I like to just let you know what our roster looks like. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to learn tonight. I kind of gave a little bit of a hint of it already, but we're going to learn how to, let me make sure that's the right one. Yes, learn how to promote your coaching business in an authentic, mindful way that aligns with your values, resonates with your audience. Because I don't want you to leave out your audience, but I want you to really understand, again, you're a whole person. You're not just your business, and you shouldn't leave your values and your goals and your morals at the door just because you're doing business. I know you're going to work with many a coach, me and other coaches, throughout the life of your business. But don't ever let a coach tell you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with deep down inside, right? That may work for them, but if it's going to make you step outside of your beliefs, then it probably just isn't the right strategy for you. All right, so I'm going to make this a little bigger on the screen so you guys can see it. Let me see here. I got to move Instagram a little bit so I can see. All right, so let's start. Understanding mindful marketing. The practice of promoting and marketing your coaching business is a conscious and intentional manner that aligns with your values and respects the well-being of your target audience. It involves being aware of the impact your marketing activities have on individuals and society as a whole, and making choices that prioritize authenticity, empathy, and integrity. So I wanted to start tonight, and hey, on Instagram, I see you. I wanted to start tonight with just that clear understanding of what mindful marketing actually is. So let's look at that a little bit further. Conscious and intentional manner. So we're not just doing whatever and seeing what works. We're going to look at our values and respect the well-being of our target audience. So we're going to keep our client in mind. We're not just out here trying to take people, swindle people's money. Let's be real, because if you've ever worked with other coaches, they will tell you about the stories that people come to them saying, like, well, I worked with somebody in the past and they just took my money and ran, or they did this, or they did that. Horror story after horror story. You really want to remember that you are doing business for the benefit and the well-being of the people you are doing business with. That's why I always say selling a service. What service are you providing? Not just what offer, but what actual service. How are you impacting someone's life? And remember to prioritize being authentic to you, not copying someone else, right? Being empathetic, understanding, and have integrity, telling the truth. And if you can't say yes to all of these points, then you really need to start looking deeply at what you're doing business-wise and say, okay, hold on now. Something has shifted. We need to get back on track, because I want to be authentic. I want to have empathy for my clients. I definitely want to do business with integrity, right? Things can happen, right? And I'm not going to say people will always view the truth as the truth, but we have to do our best as business owners to really, like I said, be mindful as we market and keep these things in mind. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some key principles of mindful marketing. And by the time we get to the end, I'll give some more concrete things, but I want us to really have a good understanding of what it really is before we dive into how to practically apply it to our businesses. So some key principles. Make sure your values are aligned. Make sure you're conscious of how you're communicating. Some people just talk real hard at people. Or some people email in all caps and they're not very conscious about the tone that the other person is experiencing with them. Case in point, when we went to virtual, some people had not had to deal with others in a virtual space. They were used to being able to look at someone, feel the vibe between them. And so when they moved to virtual, it was really hard because you read an email. And I know for me, if I read email, my assistant jokes me all the time. I read the email like I assume they wrote it. Sometimes it has a little sass, sometimes it's real soft. And it just depends. If I know the person, if I talk to them, I'm probably 90% of the time spot on. But sometimes I'm just like, just by the way the words are connected, I'm like, oh, they got an attitude, right? So we have to be conscious of how we are communicating. If you put all caps or you talking to me like I'm somebody's child in the email, I'm gonna feel some type of way. And guess what? Your clients also are feeling some type of way when they are reading your emails, looking at your text messages, um, hearing you speak out loud. For instance, on TikTok, there was a young lady who's trying to help people lose weight. And I used to watch her TikToks, but every now and then I would hear her say something like, "Yeah, don't be lazy, don't you fat, just say you fat," type of thing. And I'm like, oh, like that doesn't make me feel great. That doesn't align with how I feel inside. And so while she may be coming from a place of trying to motivate, the way she's talking is a little bit degrading and hurtful. And so, again, be very conscious of how you are communicating. Be empathetic. Things happen. Guys, we're not out here, most of us, selling a couple dollars here, a couple dollars here products. People are truly investing, and that's why we don't tell them to say price or cost. They are investing in our services. We need to be empathetic and understanding when things happen within reason, right? I had one person tell me one time, well, like contracts are contracts. It's like, yeah, but if I'm trying to work with you, you know what I mean? If I'm trying to work with you, let's have a conversation versus not talking to you. Contract is contract. It's like, well, wait a second. What happened? Because what tends to happen is we do that whole no like and trust, and we'll talk more about that later in the beginning, right? We're trying to woo that client. We're trying to roll out the red carpet for them, open the door for them, you know what I mean? Carry them if we have to. But once we get the money and it hits the account, do we still act like that? Do we still act like we care? Or does all that empathy and love and tenderness go out the window? We can't do that. We have to be cognizant that yes, things do happen. But you know what I will say as a business owner is I have had clients reach out for me because sometimes people treat you like a credit collector, right? A debt collector where they will hide from you. But I've had people where things happen, a loved one dies, they get laid off, something happens. And they'll reach out to me and say, hey, is there any way we can pause, do a payment plan, whatever? I try my hardest to work with those people, right? They're typically people that's doing all the work, and life is just throwing them curveball after curveball. But you know what? When they're upfront with me and I see that they're working and I try to make ways for them to continue the program and still get what they need and everybody's happy, they're usually some of my best testimonials. They will go out of their way to tell people about me, like, hey, if I can't give you your money today, I'm for sure going to get you 3 more clients. And that's what we want. Stop just seeing people as money, stop seeing people as a contract. You got to keep that human side of your business. Also, being authentic. Be who you are. Stop playing. Be who you are. You know what I mean? If you are goofy, if you are serious, if you are quirky, nerdy, whatever you consider yourself, be who you are. If you a woman and you married to a woman, you a man married to a man, be who you are. Don't try to hide who you are because people who don't like you the way you are probably aren't your target audience. We want to make sure we authentic. Also, we don't want to sell somebody a bill of bad goods. You know what I mean? We don't want to sit out here and be showing people. I tell the kids it's Instagram life, where we're showing people we're out here living this lavish, rich life, and really we in a cardboard box. I actually saw, I think it was a TikTok the other day, and the camera showed this nice office setup. You're like, oh, that looks cool. You see the back wall looks nice, few frames in the background, nice desk, lamp on the stand. It was beautiful. And then the camera pans out. And you realize that this is in a closet. Somebody, there's clothes hanging, shoes on the ground. And that's the thing. You need to be authentic because some of you are out here trying to show up like you're the Joneses. And in real life, don't even have two nickels to rub together. Be who you are. It's okay. Like you guys see, like I got my lamp in the background tripod. I probably should change that. But I showed, if you're watching, if you're in our private Facebook community this morning, I was like, guys, it's rough up in here right now. We're in the middle of redoing. I'm looking at it as I talk. We're redoing our office space. There's literally like half the walls covered in wallpaper, half isn't. There have been kids in and out. While we're talking, a kid may run in here. We are putting stuff away. There's boxes and bins. It's stuff it's absolutely mayhem. And I try to show that, because why am I going to show up like everything's always perfect and polished? That's not going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel like, what are you doing wrong? Right? What are you doing wrong that you can't keep your kids out of the office while you're working? What are you doing wrong that you can't have dinner on the table and have 10 meetings in the day? What are you doing wrong that your office setup isn't perfect and you don't have all the perfect frames on the wall? Right? No one wants to feel that way. Be who you are. Right? And just make sure that you are about more relationship building and support than worrying about sales. Sales will come. I promise you they will. But you really do need to make sure that you are providing a safe space for people to even want to do business with you, collaborate with you, network with you. Because it's everyone's responsibility, right? To make sure that, at least in my opinion, it's everyone's responsibility to leave whatever spaces they encounter better than when they arrive. So let's just keep that in mind. Now, just in case you don't know, I decided to add this slide in. And sorry, Instagram folks, all the slide says is values, and it has a lot of different values. If you have not sat down during your business planning at the initial stage or with your yearly business plan and set out what are your values, you really should, because it does matter. The way, if you have your values laid out, it allows your audience to know what you value, but it also keeps you reminded of what it is that you value. And I do believe, look, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to check while I'm talking. Sorry if my website may make some noise here in a second. Let me look. Yes, it is still here. I want to make sure. But yes, if you go to our website, I Rock Marketable Business Solutions, on the home page, it says our values. It says I is for integrity, intelligence, innovation. R is for reliable results. Reliable, results oriented, and resourceful. The O is for open mindedness, outreach, and organization. And C is for confidence, community, and collaboration. Those are our core values. Those are actually my personal values as well. So if you, and I'm not saying you got to broadcast everything all the time to the world, but at least you should know, your team should know what are your values. And those values should align with you personally as well. Don't say you value integrity, but you out here lying to folk. Okay? Don't say you value communication, but people can't get you on the phone, get you to respond to an email. Okay? Don't say that. Don't say that. Be honest with yourself. What do you value? I definitely value confidence. And if I don't see it in my clients, I'm going to keep pushing it into them until they believe it to be true. So just keep that in mind. Have your values. And if you're struggling to say what are your values, I did throw a couple on the screen, but in all honesty, guys, you can Google values. There's a ton and tons and tons of them out there. Go through them and really sit with them and at least pick out maybe 3 or 4 that resonate with you and make those a part of the values for your brand. Let me close my little website here because it will go off. All right. So also, what is your purpose? What is your purpose for doing business? One of the reasons why I have the target audience I have is because it goes to purpose. I did not want to have a business in which I just was helping folk, just helping whoever. I really, really wanted, and I've had to explain this to coaches and people that were like co-mentors with me and things like this, because they're like, you should raise your prices and you should do this and you should do that. And I really had to tell people that's not why I'm here. That wasn't the plan. I know that I can raise my prices and work with a whole different clientele, but that's not my purpose. My purpose is to be here and support the people who come into business untraditionally, the people who have circumstances or feel that they have circumstances that are keeping them from monetizing their passion, living their dreams, supporting other people. That's why I work. I don't just work. I used to back in the day, if you know my story. I used to work with whoever. Like, you gonna pay me? All right. But I don't do that anymore. I only really work with coaches and consultants who have businesses that I believe in. I have amazing clients. One of my clients is actually, I think she's in Ghana right now. She opened up a nonprofit that helps with resources for families who help kids with disabilities. I think it's absolutely amazing. She has an amazing business there. I worked with Alchemy Consulting, who's on the East Coast and deals with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the list goes on. I could throw out some names now, but look, I'm like, I don't want to mess nobody's name up. But a lot of the companies I work with help communities. They don't just touch one life; they touch many, 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 many lives. So I just that's why I'm here. So if you want, again, if you're looking on anywhere but Instagram, I'm sorry, y'all. These are some purposes in case you're not sure or you want to put into words what your purpose is. There's guiding and support, personal transformation, leadership development, goal achievement, career advancement, work life integration, mindfulness and presence, confidence and self esteem, relationships and communications, and more. Why are you in business? What is your purpose? And the way you do business, is that aligning with the values you've already said you have and the purpose you say you want to have? Excuse me, because if your purpose is something that you have, but then when you go to do business, you're like, oh, well, how do we get that done? Because something isn't aligning, then there's time to do some work there and figure out how to get those back into alignment, because that's probably, if some of you are struggling to make sales, it may be because your values, your purpose, and the way you're doing business are not congruent. And it's not a bad thing. This is the time to really look at that and just make a change. So let's talk. We have to hop into this one spot here, and I feel like this slide is on every presentation I do. But how do we make these changes? How do we look at the way we're doing business? Well, the first thing we have to do is know our target audience. That's never going to change. Pretty much anything to do with marketing, sales, advertisement, anything, you got to know who your target audience is. You have to understand their needs, their wants, their desires, because without that, you literally can't do anything in business. Because if you're not solving a problem, you don't have a business, period. Some of you may be struggling with that as well. I always ask clients, like, what's the solve of this? They're like, huh, what problem does this solve? They're like, oh, can I charge for this webinar or this? What problem does it solve? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, if it doesn't solve anything, then no, we're not charging nobody for this. It's just something to look at. So we just have to be cognizant of that. So who is your target audience? What problem do you solve? What do they desire? What do they need? And how can you help them get that thing? So let's talk about, now that we know all this information, how do we actually make our messaging and the way we do business align with our purpose and our values, and really mindfully marketing? Well, the first thing you need to do is, and understand, is how to create authentic messaging. And for those of you who are not familiar with this term, authentic messaging plays a crucial role in mindful marketing as it builds trust, fosters connections, and sets the foundation for meaningful relationships with your target audience. And if you know what I know, and if you've been watching me enough, you know that boils down to what? Know, like, and trust. It's not going to go away, y'all. I talk about it too much. But yeah, know, like, and trust. Your audience has to know you, then they have to like you, and they have to trust you. And the more you expect them to invest, the more they need to know, the more they need to like, and definitely the more they need to trust you. All right, so let's start with the know, right? Because I told you I'm going to give you practical. We kind of went through the mind part of it, but I want you to understand the practical pieces, because you're like, well, how do I make this happen? You said I got to do this, but how do I actually do the thing? So how do we build know, especially online? Because most of you have businesses that mostly function online. So you could develop valuable free products, right? We've talked before about lead magnets. Those lead magnets aren't just throwaway products. These, again, have a solve. Give it away. Encourage people to share your content so that more people will get to know about your brand. Build relationships with other influencers. I'm always talking about collaborating and networking. If you haven't collaborated with anybody this year, you need to get on it. If you haven't networked with at least 10 new people that you didn't know at the beginning of the year, you need to get on it. Don't worry about what it's in it for you. See how you can be of support to them. And I promise you that somebody will see that and then want to help you as well. Some practical things you can do also: create a blog, interview experts. Tony Robbins has a whole book dedicated to him interviewing, I think they were like millionaires or billionaires, and all he did was like pull the things that were in common. Whole book, right? He has a whole speaking thing around that, talking to people with money and being like, hey, how'd you get this money? How'd you keep it? So if he's doing it on his level, why not you do it on your level? So interview other experts. If you see, we have our IROC Masterclass, and if you check out our podcast, IROC Business with Confidence, that's the IROC Business with Confidence is sheer just me interviewing experts in their field and asking them and pulling practical things that you guys can benefit from in your business. Our IROC Masterclass is after me networking with amazing entrepreneurs and collaborating with them, asking them to come in and feed into you guys as an expert talking about what they do. So it's not interview style, but it's still bringing an expert to you. You can guest blog. I've actually done one of those this year. You can be a guest on a podcast. I've done several of those this year. Being a podcast guest is not hard. You can easily, and I'm just going to give you guys the tea now if I haven't already said it, you can go to podcast Facebook groups and you can shoot your shot. You see somebody needs a guest. A lot of them will say literally use the hashtag need a guest, and you shoot your shot. You let them know how you think you would benefit their audience. And little plug right here. If you're one of my clients, we actually help you do this. But yeah, you can tell them how you could benefit their audience, send them some materials to look over. A lot of times they'll either have an application you can fill out, or they'll say, hey, let's get you on a pre-interview call. Let's have a conversation. You can definitely have, if you want it right now to say, hey, I'm going to do 10 podcasts for the rest of the year, you could. It's totally doable. And that helps get out to people who may have never heard of your business before. You can make your own podcast. Like I said, I have IROC Business with Confidence, and I also did a different podcast either last year or the year before. Check us out, Audible, Spotify, major platforms. But you could be a guest speaker at events. There are a lot of virtual events out here. Don't be shy from virtual events. It's great because you don't have to invest any money in going anywhere. You can, of course, do live events as well. You can host your own event. Some of you are just starting out and you're like, dang, I don't have a speaker's room. I don't have this. I don't have that. Have your own event. Host your own webinar series. One of my newer clients, Cheryl, congrats, Cheryl. She just hosted a webinar series. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She did such an amazing job. But yeah, host your own event that way. Show up live. We're doing it live right now. Currently, I am live to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you can go live and go live consistently. You can post on your stories. My stories are where I show more of my personal life. If you ever wonder, like, why does she show this? I show like the behind the scenes, my personal life. You saw that I have kids. You see that we're out and about, throwing parties for family members. We're having a good time. We're living a real life along with being a business owner. And just make sure you're posting consistently and building up a community. If you're watching this on Facebook right now, you are in our private free community. So these are things that you can do right now. And most of the things I said don't cost you a dime to do. So get to it, but that'll help you build the know, right? People will get to know who your brand is and get to know you. Now, we want people to like you as well. So how do we get people to like you? Well, we'll go back to being authentic. Be who you are. I am never going to be like the next person. You're going to see several business coaches in your life, probably several business coaches coming across your newsfeed today. I'm not going to be like any of those. I'm going to be me, right? I'm going to talk about the fact that I have kids. I'm going to talk about the fact that hopefully there'll be dinner for me when I get off this live. I'm going to talk about the fact that I'm legally blind. I'm going to talk about the fact that I come from a medical background. I'm going to talk about my clients. I'm going to be me. And if anybody doesn't like me, guess what? Then they're not for me. And that's okay. I wish them the best, and I hope they find the coach that is for them. All right. Express your unique voice. What do you care about? You know, I actually went through a period because I used to go back on Facebook because I don't believe in deleting things and go way, way back. I used to post a lot of things that were political, just however I felt about whatever thing. Now, just being honest, I didn't change views or anything. I just post a lot less personal things in general because I do social media for business. I tend to not care about the rest. Now, if you're my friend, you're getting like TikTok videos sent to you every day. But outside of that, that's the reason why I don't have that. But I'm still authentically me. And you can still see, if you pay attention, you can still see my unique voice in what I post and what I talk about and how I talk to you guys. I'm very real. Oh, that's the next one. Be real. Be nice. Be nice. It costs you nothing to be nice, even when you're annoyed. I talked to a client the other day. They asked me to look at an event they did, and I was like, "You look real annoyed." With somebody during the event, they were like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Yeah, you have to sometimes just kill people with kindness." People have said crazy things to me in business. I've been told, maybe because you're young, maybe you need to deal with new people, just all kind of stuff. People talk to me crazy sometimes, y'all. And for the most part, I just started to say, okay, thank you again. In my head, I'm like, all right, I don't have to work with this person no more if I don't want to, and I move on. Now, I'm not saying that people can't catch you on the wrong day. and words are said. But for the most part, as business owners, we do need to rise above. We need to be nice. We need to be considerate. And if you choose not to work with somebody, that's okay. Then just don't work with them. But you don't have to be rude, right? You don't have to. Maybe they got a crazy idea and you're like, that's stupid. Like, don't tell them it's stupid. Just try to point them in the right direction. Make sure you're having two-way conversations with people. People don't like to be talked at constantly. Now, unfortunately, because of this setup, I'm kind of talking to you right now, but hey, throw a comment in. I'm watching for comments. You can ask questions and things like that. But for all the other business we do, I'm very conversational. For those of you who have tried it, who have messaged me or DM'd me, shout outs to, was it Cherie today? She sent me a voice memo. I'm a real person. I do respond. So if you try to communicate with me, 9 times out of 10, I will communicate back with you. Be visible. I try to be pretty visible. I post every single day, and I also try to just show you guys the real, the raw, the authentic self of me. But yeah, you want to be visible as well. Don't just hide away. Let people see you. Let people see what you have going on, because they'll tend to like you more just for showing who you really are. People want to have a face to your brand name. When people think of iRock, I want them to think of me. When people think of emerging consultants, they should think of Malika Humphreys. When people see educators on the go, they should think of Chanel DeBose. I'm thinking of your names. I'm going. I'm sorry, I can't think of everybody. But yeah, when they see your brands, they should think of you and be like, oh my gosh, I love this person. Also, get your social media ratios right. One reason why some people don't like folk is because they seem real salesy. So your ratio should really be about, I would say 90% just giving value, helping people, free things, and then about between 5 and 10% of sales, right? So that kind of turns into most of your posts that you're going to put out, most of your emails you're going to put out are just going to be, hey, here's value. These are free things. And then every so often, here's a sale, here's a promotion. Be general, be I'm sorry, not general, be generous, be a giving person, and then also have social proof. It's cool that you say you do all these amazing things, but start collecting that data, start getting those testimonials, those case studies, so people know that what you're saying really works, because then they will like you more for that as well. And that kind of leads us into trust, because that's the third pillar of know, like, and trust. Because this is the spot that hits people right before they buy. You can like somebody and know them, but if you're still like, I don't know them like that, right? You don't trust them, you're not going to do business with them. And remember, coaches and consultants, we're not selling $5 items. People really do need to know that we're legit before they spend money with us. So how can you do that in a practical way? Give away your best stuff. Give away some good stuff. Stop trying to give away a cheap little PDF that just has random information on it. Give people some value. Try not to disappoint your clients, right? If they're expecting something, give them something. And if you fall short, make it right. I actually had a client recently, transparent moment, where we were supposed to do a job for them, and a lot of things, I ain't gonna tell you all my business, but a lot of things happened where we could not fulfill that job. Now, I think that's the only job. I'm trying to think if there's ever been any others. Let's just say maybe there was one other, maybe once, just because I don't want to say there wasn't ever, but I can't think of one where we could not do a job that we had agreed to do. I gave that woman her money back, and then I gave her additional things that I knew she needed for free. And I sent an email saying, "Oh, I am so sorry. I hope you still will consider us in the future, but I understand if you don't. But I just want to let you know we feel horrible. Here's your money back, full refund. Don't, you know what I mean? All your money back. Don't worry about taxes. I take all that. Here's your full money back. And here's also some additional things I want to give you that was probably valued at least $500. I don't want anybody to leave with a bad taste in their mouth. And oddly enough, that person referred someone else to me, and I had a call with that person today who booked some services. So again, you don't want to leave people disappointed. You want to be as consistent as you can. Again, incorporate testimonials, case studies, anywhere where you can show social proof that what you're doing works. Third party proof is great as well when you are showcased on somebody else's platform. That leads people to say, okay, not only are they saying their stuff works and that they think they're amazing, but other people think they're amazing as well. Don't steal from folks. Don't go out here being copycat of the year, stealing people's words and their content and their ideas. I, like you, love a good TikTok, and I'm like, dang, I wish I would have thought of that. But I'm not gonna record exactly what they had and then put it out like it was my idea. Don't steal people's stuff because you're gonna get caught on a snag and embarrassed. Just try to be creative, use things as inspiration, and move on. Be a straight shooter, avoid jargon and rude language. Apologize when you need to. I'm definitely going to apologize when I need to. And I have apologized before. If I miss a meeting, or I'm going to say I'm sorry. If something happens, I'm late with something, I'm going to apologize. Don't be afraid to apologize, right? And if you win, and if you can offer guarantees, something that I do for my clients, if you've ever worked with us on the marketing side and you're a little nervous, I always tell them we guarantee the work, right? We'll say, hey, if you put this money, you're paying for it, you're gonna get the service. We have freelancers who work with us. Sometimes we have new freelancers. They may or may not pan out, but guess what? I'll happily fire them and hire somebody else, and all the hit goes on to me. You don't have to worry about it because at the end of the day, you're gonna get what you need. And on the other side, I guarantee my freelancers pay. If this client turns out to be quacky duck and acts a fool and it's just not so, because sometimes you just can't make people happy and they just turn out to be like, this is awful, 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 I'm still gonna pay you. And guess what? That's why they continue to do business with me. They give me good rates, and that's why clients keep coming back again, because I guarantee that we're gonna have a good outcome at the end. And you should be able to do that. Because you may not be able to do it with everything, and be careful what you guarantee. Like, you never want to do like weight loss and guarantee somebody 20 pounds lost, because they may just not do the work. And then they're gonna say, well, you promised me 20 pounds away. That I was gonna lose 10 pounds, and now you're paying them their money back. Like, no. That's not how it works. But guarantee what you can and just be honest about it. Now, with that being said, I want to just let you guys know, because that's the end of the presentation for today. I hope that does help you understand how to mindfully market a little bit better. But I want to let you know, because this is the last week of the month, some of our promotions will be going away. I'm going to be honest, because I don't like to be like, ooh, this one might go away. I'm going to tell you which ones are going to go away. I'm going to let you know which other ones aren't. For any of our promotions, if you're on an email list, you've been receiving that information. But you can always go to iRockMarketableBusinessSolutions.com, go to our promotions page, and you can see what specials we're running. We try to run different specials every single month, because we know that life is happening to you guys here and there, and you may need to catch a break, catch a promotion, catch a sale. So definitely check it out. Every month there will be some taken down, some put up. So just be mindful of that. If it goes away, it's gone. Sorry, but we try to keep it up for at least a month. So right now, for $197, you can get Copy for Consistency. This offer includes email, a 5-part email sequence. Your all these are, you pick a platform. We never make you pick one of ours. There's a few that we don't do, but I'll let you know. If yours is one we don't. It also includes 90 days of social media copy, meaning you're trying to post more consistently. We're going to do this, and these are all created just for you. These are not stock templates. We're writing them with you, for you. You also get a flyer copy. So if you're trying to promote an event, a product, a service, we're going to give that to you as well. And again, this is a limited time offer, but it will not be going away at the end of the month. So yay, you guys. We have our 90 days to clarity brand audit. This is 90 days of support. It includes a brand audit conversation prior to your brand audit, the brand audit itself, a planning session after the audit is done to review the audit and to plan your 90 days of marketing and promotions. And then we also will be doing calls with you guys to make sure that you are getting these things done and working with you to clean up any of the recommendations we gave. So that's still available. And then what is going away, and kudos to you guys, people was not playing. I'm like, it's a lot of websites, but we have a website launch. And this is a website project. It starts at $500. And I have to say that because some of you have like ridiculously humongous websites and it's like, can we still get the $500 offer? Yeah, you know. But yeah, so for most of you, 99.9% of you guys got the $500 offer. But this will be going away at the end of the week. So at the end of June, websites will no longer be $500. They probably will never come back down to $500. But if you want one, if you sign up for it, meaning you send me a message, we have to meet. If you can't get a meeting with me this week, I can still send you your proposal. You're going to have to sign that contract. You can lock in that $500 offer. If you don't get it by the end of the week, it is gone. So I'm going to be real clear with that. Shout out to you guys who got it. You can pick your platform. You provide the hosting and domain and the copy, and we design you an amazing website. I will review copy with you. So don't feel like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I do help you with that. I help walk you through some of the things you might want in your website to make sure that you have a really great website when you're done. And it takes about 30 days or less from start to finish. If you already have a website up, no worries. You can still get your website revamped as well. We're actually doing more revamps than from scratch websites with this offer, which is totally fine. I want you guys to get what you need. So this is still going on. In order to get it, you can just book a free call with us. You can DM me if you're like, girl, I just want to get this. Send it to me. Here's my email. We can do that for you, but the offer will end at the end of June. Last but not least, coming soon, we have our course creation blueprint course coming out. It's going to help you create a course in 30 days or less. A lot of you want to price up your current group coaching or one-on-one coaching by adding a course, and we're going to help you learn how to do just that in a really easy, simple way that anybody can do. So that'll be out here soon, along with people I've been tapping you on the shoulder. I don't have a slide for it, but VA services are coming. Be on the email list is all I can tell you, because I'm going to tell my current clients first, your email list, the private community, then everybody else, because it's going to be a very limited amount of space to start. And it was funny, I was talking to another marketer today, and she was like, we had this in the past and we had to nix it. We had this in the past too, and we got rid of it for the packages because we thought it was more helpful. But now some of our clients are doing either close to six figures or six figures, and they need additional support. And so we're like, okay, we're going to put this out here. We're going to see how y'all act. Y'all act right, we'll keep it. If everybody on some craziness, it will go away. Because VA services is an interesting thing. I know some of you might be like, why is it so crazy? Just know that it is. But we'll have limited space, limited offerings. We're going to make it as affordable as possible for you guys. If you want a VA to do something in particular, let me know, because we may have to hire a specific type of VA for you. And if you did not know, all VAs don't do everything. So that's why it's also very interesting. So yeah, we have a lot of things coming out. And again, we do have some master classes coming out. As a matter of fact, since I'm talking about it, let me just pull it up real quick for you guys. Master classes. The master classes for July will be out at the end of the week. The Monday Night Live topics for July will be out by the end of the week. And the date of our Q&A networking event will be out at the end of the week as well. Look, lots of things, y'all, lots of things. But they always come out the last week in the month, if you're ever wondering. All right, let me tell you these master classes just so you know. And shout out to all of you who came to Nicole Elliott's master class. It's crazy. I've already gotten some really good feedback. People that were on the session loved it. People who saw the replays, even some of my colleagues who do other types of marketing really enjoyed it. Nicole talked about how to give your website copy a conversion and a connection boost. Y'all should have been in the room. It was really good. And she gave out some real good freebies. She actually did a website audit during the session. Shout outs to, I think it was Cherie who got that. Let me see here. On July 5th, so I believe that's next week, we have Nina Makari coming. She's going to talk about get ready for podcast interviews. So we talked about tonight about getting on more podcasts. She's going to talk to you about how to do that in detail on July 5th at noon Eastern Standard Time. And then towards the end of the month on July 20th, we'll have Michelle Thorpe coming. Are y'all ready for this? She is an Instagram specialist. And I promise you, she's not going to tell you to make a reel every day. This is why I had her come versus somebody else, because she gets it done, and she gets it done in a way that's not going to suck up all your time. So she's coming, talking to us about Instagram for women solopreneurs, first steps to attracting leads like a boss, because we want to make some money on Instagram. Okay, so she'll be doing a talk for us on July 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so all these things will come out. LinkedIn, it'll be in the event section, private Facebook community. It will be in the private group. If you're not on one of those communities, get on one of them. But you can also check out all this information again on our promotions page on the website. We are updating it to make sure we add the events there as well as the sales. But guys, this was great tonight. I hope you all got a lot of good information. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to drop a comment. That's what we're here for. All right, but I will talk to you guys soon. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. Talk to you guys next time.